Don't cheat on your wife. That makes you a slag. Let's just start there, full stop. But if you want to be a slag, then you can go cheat on your wife at a concert where you're liable to be put on a massive camera in front of everyone, tens of thousands of people here in Boston.
I feel like this isn't a good way, and if you're gonna get caught cheating, it shouldn't be like this.
Well, maybe he should have thought of that before he was cheating.
Watching this.
Yeah. Oh, look at these two. All right, come on. You're okay? Oh, what? Either they're having an affair or they're just very shy. I'm not quite sure.
That's a Coldplay concert, and it is the most viral clip on the internet.
Betrays a lack of respect for any sort of judgment, but also for a basic value system.
Kiss cam is known for its heartwarming moments, but it caught an awkward one at a Coldplay concert. It zoomed in on a couple cuddling, but internet sleuths were quick to work out why they didn't want to be seen.
They don't even get caught if they're just both at the concert together. They only get caught because they're openly canoodling at the concert.
Coldplay threw a couple on the kiss cam. Turns out they were having an affair? I don't think even Coldplay can fix this.
Now, a US tech company boss has been suspended. That's after a viral video appeared to show him hugging a woman at a Coldplay concert. Astronomer says that its chief executive, Andy Byron, has been put on leave, although the company stopped short of confirming if he is the one captured in the footage. The video, which appears to show Byron embracing the company's HR director, was shown on a giant screen at the concert in Boston.
Forget the Epstein files. I want to see the text messages of that astronomer CEO that got caught cheating at the Coldplay concert.
If you're gonna have an affair, why would you bring her to a concert in public where everybody can see you? What if you even ran into someone you knew? Who cares about the jumbotron? What if you ran into someone you knew? Huh?
This is pretty viral stuff. Or do we have to get HR involved? I mean, I know that HR was involved.
I would pay to be a fly on the wall in the office.
Oh, she's talking to her friend. That's her friend.
I'm not quite sure.
She whips her back to the camera.
Yeah.
And he actually bends down to get out of the, like squatting to get out of the sight. Honestly, they should have listened to me. Look, well, he's really hugging her. It's tight.
Yeah, you just lean in. You have to lean in at that point.
Right?
But apparently, this couple will not be fans of Coldplay for long.
Oh, look at these two. All right, come on. You're okay? Oh, what? Either they're having an affair or they're just very shy.
And can we talk about the employee that was with them? She obviously knows what's going on because she's there.
Imagine you're at a concert, not just any concert. Coldplay, live in Boston. Tens of thousands of people packed into a stadium. The lights dim, the music's soaring. It's one of those feel-good moments where everyone's just vibing. And then the kiss cam shows up. You know the drill. Couples get spotlighted on the jumbotron. The crowd cheers. Some kiss shyly. Others go all in. It's sweet, harmless, cheesy fun. Until it isn't.
Oh, look at these two.
In a moment, these lovers won't ever forget.
Either they're having an affair or they're just very shy.
And one the world can't stop talking about.
I'm not quite sure what to do. Did we rumble in?
Kiss cam at a Coldplay gig in Boston, and their reactions said it all. They had something to hide.
Oh, I hope we didn't do something bad.
Chris Martin knew it, the internet did too.
Because on this particular night, the kiss cam locked onto one couple. And what happened next? It didn't just break hearts, it broke the internet. In less than 60 seconds, a seemingly innocent moment became a full-blown corporate disaster. A secret exposed, a marriage imploded, and two careers torched in real time.
It's time to kiss it goodbye. Baseball is probably not the only thing you can say that about.
I think that the actual star of this story, though, is Chris Martin, who decides, given an opportunity here, to let these people off the hook and just let the camera move along, to suggest explicitly that these people are either having an affair. I mean, seriously? You just throw the fans under the bus who paid their hard-earned money for these tickets?
See, when the camera zoomed in on a man and woman seated close together, the crowd probably expected a kiss and a laugh. But what they got was hesitation, nervous glances, a woman physically turning away from the camera, a man literally crouching down to hide his face. Weird, right? And then came the twist no one expected. Coldplay frontman Chris Martin, that soft-spoken peace-preaching icon, throws out a quiet joke that would echo across the internet. Either they're having an affair, or they're just very shy. And just like that, the clip went viral.
Well, good call from the lead man there, because it turns out that they were, in fact, probably having an affair.
I feel bad for so many people involved in this. Like, Chris Martin is one of the sweetest guys. I'm a huge Coldplay fan. Like, really a genuinely sweet guy who's trying to do the world better. He's trying to showcase people having loving moments. And it sure looks like these two are in love, Kim. Very, very confident in such a public space. Yeah. You would think they're a couple, would you not, Kim?
Absolutely. I think
Only this wasn't a celebrity scandal or a fan caught misbehaving. This was worse, because that man on the screen, he wasn't just some random guy. He was the CEO of a billion-dollar tech startup, and the woman with him, his company's head of HR. And most importantly, neither of them was single. What happened at that Coldplay concert wasn't just an awkward moment. It was a career-ending, reputation-shattering, home-wrecking, jumbotron-level disaster.
He did so many things wrong. I mean, the very first thing is, and look, I've never cheated on my wife. I'm not cheating on my wife. I love you, baby. It's her birthday.
Happy birthday.
I'm great. But if I did it, to borrow a phrase from O.J. Simpson, I sure as hell am not going to take my side chick to a stadium with 65,000 strangers.
And the fallout? Oh, it was deliciously savage. Let's dive into the most public affair the tech world has ever seen. It started like any other concert highlight. A 15-second clip uploaded to TikTok showing a crowd at a Coldplay concert enjoying the show. The music fades slightly, the camera pans, and the kiss cam does its thing. Couples smile awkwardly, wave, maybe sneak a quick kiss while the crowd cheers them on. Then it lands on one pair, a man and a woman, clearly close, sitting shoulder to shoulder. But the moment the spotlight hits them, everything changes. The woman, blonde, maybe mid-30s, whips her back toward the camera, clearly trying to hide her face. The man, he ducks, literally squats, trying to dip out of the frame like a raccoon caught in a trash can. The crowd chuckles, confused. It feels weird, not funny weird, guilty weird. Then Chris Martin on stage sees what's happening. He watches the couple's awkward squirming and lets the line fly. Either they're having an affair or they're just very shy. That sentence was the spark. TikTok blew up. Reddit detectives pulled out their magnifying glasses. Twitter went into overdrive because people could smell something was off. And they were right. It didn't take long before users began piecing it together. One by one, clues surfaced. A man who looked exactly like Andy Byron, CEO of a rising AI company called Astronomer. A woman resembling his HR director, Kristen Kitt. Someone compared photos, then LinkedIn profiles, then boom, confirmation. But that's when things really got wild. Because if the internet loves anything more than a scandal, it's a hypocritical workplace scandal involving two powerful people who should absolutely know better. One tweet read, "That's the CEO and his HR director. You couldn't write better corporate satire." Another added, "She's literally head of HR. Her job is to prevent exactly this kind of thing." Memes flooded every corner of the internet. The clip spread to Instagram, YouTube, even Facebook ant groups. And once it hit mainstream media, it was game over. The awkward body language, the attempts to hide, the fact that they were clearly together, clearly not hiding it well, and clearly about to have their personal and professional lives detonated, all caught in real time. And what made it worse? This wasn't a tabloid sting. No whistleblower, no exposed DMs. They outed themselves on the kiss cam at a Coldplay concert with Chris Martin narrating their downfall. But who were these two people really? Why did their faces send shockwaves through the business world and into the home of one woman who didn't deserve any of it? Well, the internet figured that out too. And the real story? It was way messier than anyone imagined. The moment that Coldplay clip hit the algorithm, the internet did what it does best: investigate like unpaid private detectives. Within hours, the grainy stadium footage was being paused, enhanced, zoomed, analyzed. Side-by-sides of faces started popping up on Twitter threads. People began asking, who are they? Are they famous? Are they someone's parents? Why did they look so uncomfortable? Then someone dropped the bomb. That's Andy Byron, CEO of Astronomer. And the woman? That's his HR director. Wait, what? It sounded too absurd to be true. But Reddit sleuths love a puzzle, and they solved this one with frightening speed. A few LinkedIn searches, some Instagram digging, and boom, confirmation. The man in the video matched photos of Andy Byron, founder of a billion-dollar AI company that had recently been featured in tech magazines as the future of enterprise intelligence. And the woman by his side, nervously ducking the camera, Kristen Kitt, Astronomer's very own chief people officer. That's right, head of HR, the person responsible for enforcing workplace boundaries, for crafting company ethics policies, for writing memos about professional conduct. Suddenly, this wasn't just a cute concert moment. It was a PR nightmare for a Silicon Valley startup that marketed itself as cutting-edge, values-driven, and people-first. The kicker? Kristen had just finalized a divorce. Andy, still very much married, to Megan Carry-On Byron, a woman who had supported his career, raised their kids, and frequently posted family updates online online showing off what looked like a picture-perfect tech power couple. But clearly, something had been simmering under the surface. It wasn't long before LinkedIn pages started disappearing. Kristen's profile? Gone. Andy's status at the company? Suddenly listed as on leave. And their company's press team? Completely silent. Meanwhile, Megan's social media remained unchanged for the moment. But the comment sections were already filling with messages like, "You deserve better," "Queen energy," "Divorce him and take the company too." And as the internet doled out judgment like it was a courtroom with no appeal, people started digging deeper. Because this wasn't just a workplace affair. This was a case of power imbalance, betrayal, hypocrisy, and staggering stupidity, all unraveling at the worst possible time, in the most public possible way. But while Andy and Kristen scrambled to disappear, Megan was just getting started. If irony could file an HR complaint, this would be Exhibit A. Let's just take a moment to appreciate the sheer absurdity here. The CEO of a tech company and his chief people officer, the person literally responsible for ensuring workplace relationships don't become a headline, were caught in the most viral, visual, meme-worthy example of poor judgment corporate America has ever seen. You can't make this stuff up. Kristen Kitt's title was Chief People Officer. You'd think that would mean something like leadership, ethics, accountability. Instead, she decided to become the unofficial chief of getting caught on camera making bad life choices. And the way they tried to play it off? Pathetic. The moment that kiss cam hit, Kristen turned her back so fast you'd think the lens was laced with secrets. Andy tried to duck behind a barrier like he was evading snipers. Their body language screamed, "We weren't supposed to be seen together," and the internet caught every frame. Within days, employees at Astronomer started leaking more tea. Anonymous posts on blind forums, cryptic tweets. A pattern began to emerge. This wasn't just a bad moment, it was a bad culture. One former employee wrote, "Everyone knew he had favorites. No one thought he'd be this reckless." And suddenly, Astronomer went from being a cutting-edge AI startup to a punchline in corporate scandal TikToks. Investors raised eyebrows. PR teams issued non-statements. LinkedIn became a graveyard of deleted profiles. The fallout wasn't just about personal betrayal, it was professional destruction. And poor Kristen? Let's just say her days of giving HR presentations on inappropriate workplace relationships were definitely over. She didn't just violate the rules. She wrote them, broke them, and then publicly displayed her breach on a 100-foot screen while Coldplay played in the background. You couldn't script it better if you tried. Meanwhile, Megan, the wife whose name hadn't left the headlines, remained silent. No interviews, no statements, just a quiet, calculated move that would shake the internet harder than any scandal Kristen and Andy had sparked. She changed her name, just like that, dropped Byron from all her socials. No drama, no explanations, just a simple update. And with it, she delivered the kind of power move that PR teams dream about. A tweet that went viral summed it up perfectly. She erased him like a typo. So while the CEO and HR queen scrambled like cockroaches under a stadium spotlight, Megan rose. Quiet, strong, legendary. And the next chapter? Well, it only got better from here. When a scandal like this erupts, most people expect one of two things from the betrayed spouse: a meltdown or a media tour. But Megan Carry-On Byron? She chose neither. She didn't go to the press. She didn't hop on TikTok with a tearful monologue. She didn't even issue a cryptic Instagram story. What she did instead, one single move, so subtle, so boss that it broke the internet with 0 words. She dropped his name. That's it. Just like that, Megan Carry-On Byron became Megan Carry-On again. No announcement, no explanation, just a quiet removal from her Facebook profile and LinkedIn. It was surgical, clean, cold, and completely devastating. Within hours, screenshots of her updated profile were circulating online like wildfire. One post racked up hundreds of thousands of likes, reading, "She didn't scream, she didn't cry, she deleted the man like a bad sentence." Another said, "That's not a name change, that's a power move." And just like that, Megan became something else entirely. Not just the CEO's betrayed wife, the internet's new queen of dignity. People rallied behind her in full force. TikTok was flooded with Team Megan edits. Comment sections turned into digital support groups. Twitter threads went viral, praising her grace, her restraint, and her quiet savagery. But make no mistake, this wasn't weakness. This was strategy. Because while Andy Byron was spiraling into a PR nightmare, Megan was playing chess. No interviews, no drama, just one clean cut and a social media presence that screamed, "I don't need to say a word, you already know." It was the kind of move that made divorce lawyers quietly nod in approval. And while the public backed her with love, rage, and memes, Andy and Kristen, they were still fumbling in the dark, desperately trying to undo what they had done. But by then, it was too late. Megan's silence had already spoken volumes. She didn't just win the breakup, she won the internet. By the time the dust started to settle, the damage was done. But not just her reputations. We're talking about careers, credibility, and the core of an entire company. Let's start with Andy Byron. As the CEO of Astronomer, he was once a rising star in the AI space. Interviews, TEDx talks, industry panels, all painting him as a visionary leader, a family man, and a tech entrepreneur who put people first, except apparently not his own people. After the concert clip exploded, Andy went into full damage control mode. Public silence, company silence, internal meetings held behind closed doors. But the internet? The internet doesn't do closed doors. The company issued a vague statement confirming that Andy had been placed on leave pending an internal investigation. They didn't say it was him in the video. Come on, everyone already knew. You can't get caught in 4K with a jumbotron and Coldplay commentary and then act like it might be a lookalike. Meanwhile, Kristen Kitt, the woman by his side and the company's chief people officer, tried to disappear. Her LinkedIn vanished. No posts, no press, just gone. But that didn't stop the storm. Because the irony of the head of HR being at the center of a workplace scandal, it was too rich to ignore. The memes practically wrote themselves. When HR leads a seminar on inappropriate relationships, then leads one herself. Chief people officer? More like chief pillow officer. Kristen wasn't just part of the affair. She was the walking embodiment of what every corporate policy is supposed to prevent. The person employees are supposed to trust when reporting misbehavior. Caught in the act of it. And the fallout reached further than just embarrassment. Astronomer, the company itself, started to unravel. Employee trust shattered. Investor confidence wobbling. Even potential partnerships began pulling back. Because no matter how solid your tech is, no one wants to do business with a circus. But the worst part? It wasn't just the affair. It was how sloppily it all unfolded. Caught on camera at a Coldplay concert with 65,000 people watching, while the frontman jokingly called them out in real time. You couldn't script a worse reveal if you tried. It was betrayal, with LED lighting and surround sound. And now, Andy wasn't just a CEO. He was a meme. Kristen wasn't just a top executive. She was the cautionary tale of corporate HR. And Megan was the icon the internet needed. While they scrambled to salvage what was left, Megan had already moved on, taking her name, her pride, and likely half the assets with her. And the best part? She didn't say a word. Now here is where the universe just decides to be extra petty. Coldplay didn't mean to start a corporate firestorm, but Chris Martin might have just delivered the most iconic mic drop of his career, and he wasn't even trying. Let's rewind. You're on stage. You're Chris Martin. You've spent the past 2 decades writing love ballads that make people cry on road trips. Your job is to bring joy, emotion, healing. You've got 65,000 fans in front of you. The kiss cam is panning the stadium, and everything's running smooth. Then the screen lands on 2 people. They look awkward, uncomfortable, guilty. And instead of brushing it off or making a generic joke, Chris Martin says the line that will haunt Andy and Kristen forever. Either they're having an affair, or they're just very shy. Boom. One sentence. No malice. Just a throwaway line from the nicest guy in British alt-rock. And yet, it was the trigger. It was like Chris had unknowingly pulled the pin on a scandal grenade and tossed it into the crowd. And when the dust settled, the couple wasn't just exposed, they were memed into oblivion. Social media turned that one sentence into a catchphrase. TikToks popped up using the audio. People filmed themselves turning away from cameras in parody videos. One creator edited the footage with Coldplay's Fix You playing over Andy, ducking behind the concert railing like a cartoon villain. But behind the humor was a real tragedy. Not for Andy or Kristen. They set the whole stage themselves. The real tragedy was for the people around them. Employees who trusted them. A wife raising kids who never saw it coming. And a company now known more for viral scandal than innovation. And Coldplay? They just kept touring. Chris Martin didn't have to issue a statement. He didn't need to say anything else. His one joke said it all. And that night, unknowingly, he became the unofficial narrator of the messiest tech scandal of the year. The fans cheering, the internet screaming, and Andy Byron probably wishing he'd taken his HR director somewhere a little less visible. Like literally anywhere other than a Coldplay concert with 65,000 witnesses and a full media team. Let's zoom out. This wasn't just a cheating scandal. It was a spectacle, a case study, a fireball of ego, hypocrisy, and delusion wrapped in a concert ticket and launched into the internet's coliseum. And people couldn't look away. Because when the people at the top, the CEOs, the ethics enforcers, the supposed role models, act like this, the public doesn't just take notice. They keep the receipts. Andy Byron didn't just cheat. He turned his personal life into a stadium-sized scandal with lighting effects, surround sound mod, and a Coldplay soundtrack. His company's credibility torched. His reputation reduced to memes. His marriage gone. Kristen Kitt didn't just get caught. She demolished her entire professional integrity in a single night. HR queen turned corporate punchline. And Megan, she won. Not because she shouted, not because she clapped back, not because she spilled tea in interviews, but because she knew something neither of them did. Silence is power when you know everyone's already listening. While Andy and Kristen scrambled, Megan stood still, poised, calculated, dangerous in the way only calm people can be. Her one action, removing his name, did more damage than a dozen TMZ exclusives ever could. And the public responded, not with pity, but with respect. Thousands flooded her socials with messages of support. Tweets turned her into a modern-day icon of quiet vengeance. Women said, "I want to be this calm when my life explodes." Men said, "She handled that better than I ever could." And the irony? None of this would have happened if 2 executives had just exercised a shred of judgment. But they didn't. They got bold, they got sloppy, they got caught. And in doing so, they handed the world a story so viral, so poetic, so unfiltered, it practically wrote itself. So here we are, Andy Byron, exposed, embarrassed, erased. Kristen Kitt, chief people officer turned chief scandal subject. Megan Carry-On, icon, unbothered, untouchable. This wasn't just a workplace affair. It was a live-streamed collapse of ego and entitlement, wrapped in a a Coldplay concert, narrated by Chris Martin, and ended with a name change that echoed louder than any mic drop. And if there's one lesson left standing in the rubble, it's this. When the people at the top act like this, it's the ones they hurt who end up shining the brightest. Whose side are you on in this Coldplay concert catastrophe? Should Megan take Andy for every last dollar and walk away like the queen she is? Should Kristen be booted from HR faster than Andy ducked behind that concert railing? And should Astronomer rebrand immediately before their next all-hands meeting ends up on TikTok? Drop your take in the comments. We want the smoke. If you're Team Megan, light up that like button like karma with a backstage pass. And if you want more scandal breakdowns just like this one, subscribe, because in a world full of cheaters, liars, and corporate clowns, we're here to drag them straight into the spotlight. Until next time, stay sharp, stay bold, and keep your HR director off the jumbotron.